COVID-19 data shows that South Africa has technically entered the third wave. Some are calling for more restrictive measures, including the closing of schools and churches. For reaction to this particular issue around churches, Bishop Malusi Mpumlwana from the South African Council of Churches joins me now. Thank you for your time. What are you thinking about these rising numbers and how they may affect your congregation?
Thank you very much for having me. We are very concerned about the third wave and coming as it does at the onset of the winter. First and foremost, because lives are at stake and the resultant pressure on the health systems. We know already that is happening in Gauteng as well as in Northern Cape. Now, as people of faith, we are calling for prayerful action that must protect life. And I think that those are as the things that people have actually, the reason why we have this problem is that people are not doing what they should do. The mask, mouth and nose, distance, hand hygiene, and ventilation, which of course becomes a bigger problem in the winter because of the cold. Now, what the SACC is doing about this is to go back to our norms and standards, which we have always adhered to, that we are promoting, because churches have actually been very good at this over time in making sure that they don't become super spreaders. But where numbers go up in hotspots, we encourage voluntary reduction of worshippers, such as the Anglicans are doing at this time. And also each church to identify a local church in every municipality for registration and vaccination drive in what we call Vax Ugogo campaign, to ensure that all people over 60 are vaccinated within the next 4 to 6 weeks by the end of July, we believe, and that is possible. But we also think that it's important it's a pity that we lost the AstraZeneca at the beginning, because that really is what has set back the whole vaccination campaign. But we do need to make sure that teachers, police officers are vaccinated. I would think that also church ministers, because the higher the numbers grow, more ministers are dying because they have to minister to COVID funerals. But it is a concern for the churches that government classifies churches with irresponsible nightclubs, yet they are most careful in managing COVID compliance. Youth social scenes have a high non-compliance. Once they are inside the venue, they put off the mask. Before the entrance, they have it on, and then once they're inside, they take it off. And everybody knows this. And yet, when we're talking about reducing the infection, you want to close churches, you never think of going to the nightclubs. And we're saying, wait a minute, the churches are actually very compliant. They are not super spreaders. We have not found any proof that churches are super spreaders, but we know that clubs as well as funerals are super spreaders. And maybe that's where the focus ought to be to start off with, we think. But I think that it's important that all of us agree that we must campaign. You must be that guy. You must be a nuisance. When people are not wearing around you, you must say, hey, please, 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 I don't want you to not wear your mask. Please wear the mask, because I don't trust that you're not a carrier. I'm wearing mine so that I protect the next person, because I do not know if I'm a carrier. I might just be the carrier, and therefore it's important that all of us do this.
Thank you very much. Those are wise words, and hopefully your congregations will be listening to that. Bishop Mpumlwana from the South African Council of Churches.